I remember meeting a man named Arthur. He was in his late 80s, had a stroke. Everyone thought he'd lost his ability to speak. For weeks he was quiet. People would talk at him, assuming he couldn't understand. They'd make decisions for him, what he'd eat, what he'd wear when he'd sleep. It was heartbreaking to see. He seemed to get smaller and smaller, fading in his chair, frustration in his eyes, a whole world trapped inside. This happens more often than we think. We get busy, make assumptions, and forget there's a person desperate to be heard. Then Chloe arrived, a young care worker. She wouldn't accept the silence. She sat with Arthur quietly, without pressure. She watched his eyes flicker toward things. She used a simple picture board, the telly, the garden. She'd point and watch his face for the tiniest sign. It was slow, painstaking work. Most would give up after 10 minutes, but Chloe saw a flicker. Choices, opinions, a life still there, even without words. One afternoon, Chloe pointed to a picture of a dog. Arthur's eyes lit up, a tiny spark. Rough, gravelly whisper. It was a word. Just one word. Buster had been his dog for 15 years. Suddenly the floodgates opened. Not with words, but connection. Staff learned he loved dogs, missed his garden, hated mashed potatoes. That one word reminded everyone Arthur was not just a patient. He had a history, loves and losses, just like the rest of us. This is why communication is not a nice to have. It's absolutely essential, the foundation of everything we do. Without it, we can't provide truly person-centered care. We're just guessing. Meeting communication needs is about honoring dignity, supporting independence, and the right to be part of your own life. See the person, not the condition. The difference between existing and truly living. Fail to communicate and we isolate people. Lonely, powerless, profoundly misunderstood. It's a heavy responsibility, but getting it right is the most rewarding part of the job. How we act as care workers can make or break a conversation before it even starts. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it, what you're doing while you say it. Rushing around, talking too quickly, standing over someone while they're sitting down. It sends a message that you're too busy, that you don't really have time for them. This can make someone feel pressured and shut them down completely. Your body language speaks volumes. Making eye contact, arms crossed, facing the person. These small things make a massive difference. Think about the environment you're in, telly blaring. Other people having a loud chat. Too much background noise can be incredibly distracting and overwhelming, especially for someone with hearing difficulties or sensory issues. A noisy, chaotic room makes it hard to concentrate, hard to hear, hard to be heard. Turning down the TV, closing a door, it shows respect. Lighting is another thing we often overlook. If a room is too dark, it can be hard to see facial expressions or read lips. Harsh, glaring light can be uncomfortable and distressing for some people. Aim for a well-lit, soft and calm environment, creating a space that feels safe and comfortable. It's our responsibility to control the environment, not the persons. Your patience is probably the most powerful tool you have. When you give someone time, you're telling them their words are important. Don't finish their sentences, don't jump in with what you think they mean. Wait. Find their words, point to their picture, make their gesture. A quiet, comfortable silence isn't always awkward. Sometimes it's a sign of respect. Your calm, supportive presence can give someone the confidence to try. No one expects you to be an expert in everything. The brilliant thing is, there's a whole network of specialists whose entire job is to help with communication. If you're supporting someone and you feel like you're not getting through, you're not alone. Speech and language therapists are incredible. They can assess a person's needs and recommend the best communication aids and strategies. They can teach you and the person you're supporting how to use them effectively. There are also occupational therapists, audiologists, and specialist charities like the Stroke Association or the National Autistic Society who can offer amazing advice and resources. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Once someone has a communication aid, whether it's a simple picture book or a complex piece of tech, our job is to champion it. We need to help them use it. This means making sure it's always within their reach, not left on a shelf in another room. And it means making sure it's charged up, clean, and working properly. Imagine if your voice depended on a tablet, but the battery was always dead. How frustrating would that be? You'd effectively be silenced. Checking that these aids are set up and ready to go is as vital as giving someone their medication. It's part of their essential care. Keeping these tools in good working order is about more than just practicality. It's about dignity. When a person's communication aid is treated with care and respect, it sends a powerful message. Your voice matters. Your choices matter. You matter. It supports their independence, allowing them to make their own decisions, to say yes or no, to share a story or to crack a joke. It enables them to maintain relationships and stay connected to the world around them. When we ensure their communication tools are working, we are upholding their human right to express themselves. It is that fundamental. Ultimately, it all comes down to empathy. It's about putting yourself in the other person's shoes. Try to imagine what it must feel like to have a thought and not be able to share it, to feel pain and not be able to explain it, to be lonely and not be able to ask for company. When we start from that place of empathy, everything else follows. We become more patient, more observant, and more determined to find a way to connect. Good communication isn't a task to be ticked off a list.